I was sitting in the living room finishing up my favourite crappy reality show, waiting for my husband to get home. I think it was called For the Love of Ray J or something stupid like that. All I can remember about it was a group of ladies who vie for the affection, i.e. sex, of an ex-rapper with a dried up career. It was lazily entertaining. We both worked different shifts at the time, my husband and I. Newlyweds in our first little one-room apartment. We didn't even have furniture. I was sitting on the carpet, propped up against the wall and nibbling on an apple. I didn't eat much back then. We were young and didn't always budget wisely, or not at all. And I got very thin from a lack of groceries in the house. Sometimes my manager would buy food for me at the restaurant I worked at. I think he was concerned. So I was just sitting there, brain occupied by the mind-numbing entertainment of our small, crappy TV, just patiently waiting for Mike to get home. Seemed I was always doing that. Waiting. Waiting for a better job. Waiting for Mike. Waiting for a nicer place. Waiting for some furniture, or for some rich relative to die off and leave me an inheritance. I know, I'm a horrible person. Finally, I heard the familiar sound of footsteps start at the bottom of our wooden stairs, making their way up. The ache of the doorknob as it turned, and the creak of the door as it slowly swung open. Mike came in, looking tired and dirty from his long day at the foundry. His clothes and hands were covered with black sand, and I saw smudges of it on his face. His eyes were warm. It was a long day, but he looked happy. I remember that. He had a twinkle in his eye, but at the same time, he looked a little sad, but happy to see me. "Hey babe," I said, "how was work?" "Same as it always is," he answered. Something in his tone of voice threw me off, but I couldn't put my finger on what it was. I didn't think much of it. "Want to go to McDonald's or a pizza or something?" I asked. "No, not tonight. Not too hungry," he said. He walked slowly into our bedroom and I could hear him throwing his clothes on the floor, just like I tell him not to. Oh, how he never learned. He came out of the bedroom and sat down next to me. When he saw what was on TV, he rolled his eyes. He hated that show. I smiled. "We can watch something else. I don't care," I said. He shook his head and grabbed my hand, leaning his head on my shoulder. "What's up, babe?" I asked. "Nothing. I just love you," he said. He closed his eyes for a minute. We sat quietly together with the TV going. The drama of it filled up the silence in our apartment. Soon, it was getting late. I was starting to get tired, so I got up to brush my teeth and wash up. I had work in the morning. Mike followed me to bed, curling up next to me and put his arm around me. I could feel his breathing slow as he fell asleep. He always fell asleep before I did. I could never understand how he could fall asleep so fast, but I figured it's that he worked so hard during the day. The next morning, my alarm jerked me out of a dreamless sleep. I rolled over, but Mike was gone. He must have gone to work early to pick up some overtime. I glanced out of the window and sure enough his car wasn't there, just my ugly green van. I started to get ready for work. As I was brushing my hair, I heard my phone go off in the other room. It was early, so I figured it was either my mum or Mike. I ran to grab my phone. It was a number I didn't recognise. "Hello," I answered. I hate answering a number I don't know, but something told me I should. "Hello? Is this Jesse Samuelson?" came a voice. "Yes? Who is this?" I asked. "This is Officer Marks from the Jefferson County Police Station. I regret to inform you that your husband Mike was in a car accident last night. He died on the spot. Didn't feel any pain. I am so sorry for your loss, but we need you to come down to the station to identify his body." I dropped the phone. I could hear ringing in my ears. My eyes started to blur. "Hello? Hello? Jesse?" I could hear Officer Marks say through the phone speaker. With shaky hands, I picked up the phone. "What time was the accident?" I asked. I could hear my voice tremble as I held back tears. My throat was starting to ache. A witness saw it happen around 7:30 p.m. yesterday, sir. Again, I'm so sorry. Without saying a word, I hung up the phone. There were tears on my cheeks now, but I didn't feel like I was crying. I guess you could say I didn't realise it. Mike came home around 8 p.m. the night before. I was sure of it. Had I been dreaming? Was I crazy? Did he really even come home last night? I walked slowly over to go sit on my spot. I sat there so long that my back was starting to ache. My mind felt numb. I had my eyes closed, sitting like that for hours, trying to process what had happened. My phone rang again from across the room where I had left it. I didn't have any intention of going to pick it up. I opened my eyes and started to look around the now darkened room. It was getting late. I glanced over at the TV and see words written in the dust on the darkened screen. The words said, "I just wanted to say, I love you."